my gosh. I need like 4 more seconds. Hang on. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Funny story. Today, my souvenir from Disney World finally showed up. As you know, Scrooge McDuck is my spirit animal. I'm surrounded by Scrooge McDuck memorabilia. And one thing I ordered at Disney World that finally arrived today, this is really cool. Like when I got it, I was like, holy crap, that's so cool. Check this out. This is enormous. So a humongous framed picture of Scrooge McDuck. Look at this thing. Look how big it, like it's life size. Like I think Scrooge's head is as big as mine. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? I love it. I had no idea it was going to be that big when I ordered it, and I got it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I leave Scrooge back there for the day. All right, so happy Thursday. Today is the last trading day of the week, last trading day of the month. So with that being said, don't plan on showing up tomorrow. Go enjoy your Good Friday, doing other kinds of good stuff like that. Hey, everybody's here. Cool. Yoren's here. Brian's here. Goron's here. Donna's here. Leo's here. Randy, good to see you. Brian says, oh my gosh. I know, right? It's so big. I thought it was going to be like the size of my other one. Hang on. So this one I got for my birthday. As you can see, I sit in front of a green screen, so it's kind of messed up here. As you can see, the scale of it is like, I think it's 4 times as big. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Last day of the quarter as well. Well said, Randy. So what you'll find, not so much today, but we had it last week, is what they call triple witching or quadruple witching. A lot of things can go haywire in that. But what you'll also see is at the end of the month, end of the quarter, you might see what they call rebalancing, right? So it's like hedge funds, mutual funds, etc., buying things, selling things, trying to prop up their statements for the quarter. I think we're seeing a lot of that. Definitely something to be aware of. Ryan says dividends rolling in. Sebastian, hey, good to see you, bud. Okay, so I'm very excited. Today we're going to do, looks like we're going to do 2 of them. Today we're going to be doing one of my very, very favorite tricks with trading. And when I tell you this is a trick, I learned this from Michael Coe. He was, I don't know if he still is, a recurring guest on CNBC's Options Action. This is one of the coolest things I've ever learned. And I'm so excited to share this with you today. This is Michael. I gotta click the right buttons here. This is Michael. You maybe you've seen him on CNBC. I don't know. But yeah, had the opportunity to learn a little bit from him directly. And funny enough, he was actually the one who told me, do not start a podcast. Do not do this type of stuff. He's like, nobody cares about options trading. So while on the one hand, he taught me a lot. On the other hand, I don't know if he was actually trying to like sabotage me on the other end. Like, hey, don't come into my space. I don't know. Either way, this is a really cool trick. So I'm excited to do this. Oh yeah, that's right. We're going to be rolling, Sebastian. That's right. Let's do this. Let me click the buttons here. Got to be professional with our bumpers. All right. Welcome to the OVTLYR Trading Room. This is how to trade only 10 minutes a day and exactly how to take the guesswork out of trading. Now, full disclosure, I am a partner with OVTLYR, and this is my style of trading using OVTLYR, but OVTLYR delivers you new opportunities every single day. So I like to start with the market and let the market tell us which direction it's going, with the 10 over the 20, with price over the 50 on the exponential moving averages. Let's take a look at that. Close this picture of Michael. Go to the SPY. Yeah, we got the 10 over the 20, over the 50. It's been that way for months. I think it's been since like November last year. And market breadth has really come back strong. And this is something that I have traded with for ages. Mark Minervini specifically taught me this, and it's a measure of how strong is a trend, right? If the breadth is moving up while price is moving up, right, you've got a double whammy, right? That would be indicative of a strong trend. If price is moving up while the breadth is moving down, that would be indicative of a weak trend. Now, I did not trade from January 8th to about 2 weeks ago because I was just following my trading plan. However, I did a lot of back testing, and I actually shared that in the Discord. I was replying to Sebastian yesterday, and I dropped the link on there. Let me find it. Here it is. So if you want to go back to this link right here, that is the backtesting exactly of what I did. One of the biggest things that I found was it did not matter which direction the MMFI was going. What did matter was on OVTLYR. Let me just pop open one that we're in right now. Let me go to one that's working, GM. What did matter is a buy signal combined with a green uptrend overlay. Like that outperformed everything, right? Irrespective of what MMFI was doing, if you had a buy signal with a green overlay like this, like that the win rate was like 70 something percent. The average return was over 4%. And I'm like, dude, if I don't even have to worry about market breadth and I'm only focusing on that, gimme. Now, Sebastian did say he didn't want a repeat of last year's 19 trades in a row losing. And I was like, listen, I get it, dude. But Sebastian, remember one thing we did last year, which I'm not doing this year. All these sell signals, I was taking those sell signals while the market was still pushing higher, if you recall. And it was like one after another. These sell signals were failing over and over and over. Now, I needed that kick in the teeth to say, not every sell signal is a go short. A lot of sell signals are a sell and go to cash, right? So that's not going to happen again, right? I can't guarantee we won't have 19 losers in a row again, but I'm more likely thinking we're going to have 19 winners in a row at some point. I can't guarantee that either, but of course, just keep your risk in check. Brian says, yep, based on the number of people on YouTube talking about options, he was wrong. Yeah, dude, let me tell you. Okay, so the trend is up. We know that for sure. Now, I always start with my existing trades, and the number one thing you need to do each day is reduce risk. Nathan, good to see you. Nathan was asking about the order blocks. Let me pop that open for him real quick, right quick, and get my big old head out of the way. I'm going to expand my indicator list. I'm going to go to my order block thing right here. This, I'm not going to hold it open all day, but you can take a screenshot of this later on. That's exactly my settings for order blocks. 3, 2, 1. Okay, take a screenshot of that later on the replay, and you'll have that forever. Okay. And order blocks are really cool. That's these green and blue boxes that you see that pop up on the chart. And they act as incredible support and resistance points. Okay, so we need to start reducing risk. And we're going to do some voodoo. Are y'all ready? Put your, go get your voodoo dolls. Like I was showing on this GIF right here. Go get your voodoo dolls because we're going to do some black magic right here. This is one of my all-time favorite things to do. All right, so check this out. When we get to one ATR value up from an entry point, right? So we're up $4 on STLD. Pretty awesome trade. Am I ready to take off the trade? Well, let's go to STLD first. I'm clearly not in a position of taking it off based on the 10 EMA broken, a half ATR from entry, or a close below prior day's low. I do need to check my heat map. So I said I was selling the strength at G26. STLD as of today is at G24, right? So I like to do 5 points higher when it's past G15. When it's before G15, zoom out just a little bit. I let that run, right? Like we can get buy signals in the pink, we can get it in the light green. Once it gets to G15, I consider that into a not extreme greed, but a healthy amount of greed. And I'm only going to be in and out. I'm going to take my profits while I can. And so that's why I go 5 points on the behavioral heat map, and it's so much easier to use than it used to be. But it's G24, so it's only 2 points higher or 3 points higher on the behavioral heat map today. So I'm not going to be exiting for this. So the one thing that I am going to do, and you're welcome, Nathan, the one thing I am going to do is roll up. Check this out. When the stock moves 1 ATR in your direction, can you roll up and potentially out if you need to for a credit? If no, hold the trade. So let's take a look. Make sure I logged in Tastyworks real quick. Yes. Okay. So STLD. We are in the 140 calls. Now, here's how you do it. Can you roll up and out for a credit? We're only going to roll up. We don't need to roll out. 22 days is fine. So in the 140 calls, can we roll to the 145s for a credit? We're going to go from an 80 delta up to a 65 delta. One thing we need to keep in mind is liquidity standards. Same liquidity standards. What are those? $250 plus open interest, less than 50-cent bid-ask spread, 20% or so extrinsic value, and generally around 80 delta. In this case, we'd be rolling up from the 80 delta to the 65 delta. So it'd be a sell to close the 140, buy to open the 145. Let's take a look at our open interest. Open interest looks good to me. That's over 250. Let's take a look at our extrinsic, 272 over 640. Ooh, hang on, 272 over 640. I can't do that. Maybe 30, 35%. I can't do 42%. Nah. Listen, I was ready to do this, like legit right now, but 42% of this being extrinsic value, I can't swing that. I can't swing that. Right? And that's part of my plan. Always having the plan. Same liquidity standards. So I won't be rolling it. Damn. I really wanted to. So in that case, STLD stays on as it is. Now Monday may be a different story. We're not talking about tomorrow. Monday may be a different story. So STLD stays on as it is. Let's go ahead and reduce our risk. So we're going to move it to yesterday's low, basically. So let's so that'll be for tomorrow's candle right there. Low 146.63. In a perfect world, this guarantees profits on this trade. And I say in a perfect world because we all know it can go lower than that. But that is going to be my exit point right there. So I love this trade. It looks awesome. I just can't roll it up. So awesome, awesome trade in STLD. That's how it's done. This is what we've been waiting for. That's why you put on trades. You're just testing the water, right? On every trade you put on, it has a possibility to moonshot. Every trade, legitimately every single trade you put on has a possibility for that. But when it gives you a sign, it says, moonshot's unlikely here, right? We need to abort the launch, right? We need to send it back to the shop, whatever the case is. Get out, take a small loser, move on. But when it works, moonshots, right? When it works, this is the type of setup you're going to see, right? You're going to hit 1 ATRs, you're going to hit 2 ATRs, and it's going to be awesome. Now, I don't know where this is going to go, but one of my favorite sayings is cut your losers short and let your winners run wildly out of control. And that's what we're doing right here. Let's go to GM. Again, GM is now poised above the 1 ATR point from entry. What is an ATR? That is the average true range. And you can see right here on the bottom, the average true range over the last 14 candles, right? So each candle, if you were to measure what they look like, would average out to be about 96 cents. Now, one of my all-time favorite books is I don't have it on my desk, and I'm afraid if I pull up my green screen, those pictures are going to fall and break, and I don't want to do that. Trader. One of my all-time favorite books is this right here, The Complete Turtle Trader. Get this book. Read it over the next week. It is such an easy read, and what's it going to cost you? $6. This will be the best $6 you've ever spent in your entire life. I can guarantee that. Well, maybe I can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee anything. Well, I'm going to say it's one of the best $6 you'll ever spend in your entire life. Go get this. Go get it used. That way you get a better value out of it. In that book, Michael Covell, who I've tried many times to work with, but he always denies me. But either way, he talks about how Richard Dennis, who was the mastermind behind the Turtle Trader, created this risk profile here, right? And this risk profile gives you an idea of how much risk is actually in a trade. So I can balance my risk on GM, which is a $45 stock, and I can balance my risk on the SPY, which is a $524 stock, based on the ATR. Now, how do I do that? I use this right here. And in fact, if you look at the position size calculation, right, part of it is the ATR value. We want to find what that ATR value is. I built this spreadsheet, which does all the calculation for you, but it's all based around ATR. The position size is all based on ATR, right? You can have the exact same, basically, exact same risk on stocks that are wildly different in price because of the ATR value. It shows you how much volatility is associated with that. So, absolutely go buy this book. Go read it this weekend. It's a really, really easy read. In fact, it's on Audible. I mean, if you want to just listen to it. Larry Hite, one of the market wizards. Also, I had the incredible opportunity to work with Larry Hite. That was also one of his things, was using ATR values. So I didn't make it up. I just learned from the best. So let's go back to GM. It's moved to the one ATR value, like I spoke about. Let's see, following the plan here, at each profitable ATR, can we roll this up? Okay. Go here, GM. GM in the 41 calls in April. Okay, so we're going to be looking to move out of the 89 delta. Let me clear this out. So this would be a sell to close on the 41 calls. Why did that say 89 delta? Oh, that's May. Hang on. Clear. No, stop. Quit it. Okay, April. 41 calls. We'd be looking to sell to close and then buy something closer to the money. Now check this out, right? Moving from the 89, maybe to the 43 calls. That's around the 80 delta. That's 6 cents wide, 5,000 open interest. Looks really, really sharp. Jordan says, do you use ATR from Google or TrendSpider? I found stock charts ATR is often less than Google. I calculate this, right? It's actually a formula in here. If you go to the dashboard data pool, you'll actually see the formula, Jordan, that I use for that. So it can be a little bit different. I mean, it's only going to be like, I don't know, less than a half a percentage point different between the two. But it's actually a calculation that I come up with. It's the same calculation, though. Slightly different, but it's the same calculation. Okay. GM, let's look to roll potentially up to the 43. That gets us to the 80 delta. Here? Now, I didn't really explain why we do this. It takes partial profits now. Right now, you get money back in your account. It frees up capital right now so you can put on more trades. And it keeps the trade alive, right? If you're trading stock, you can't do this. You're either in or out. If I have 100 shares, I have 100 shares. I'm stuck. But if I'm rolling my option, I take partial profits right now. I free up capital right now. And I keep the trade alive. And one thing that we discovered through trial and error is that one of the benefits of rolling up is that, let's say the trade reverses and goes the other way, it actually has a smaller loser. It actually has a smaller loser by rolling up the trade. So you're taking profits now, you're letting it continue on, you get more capital, and if it turns around and goes against you, right, because that can happen, we've seen it. If it goes against you, your loss on this trade is actually less than it would be if you held the original option. Why? Because the delta value, which if you want to learn more about that, go into the how to trade in 10 minutes section and download this book, or you can buy it on Amazon, and then go to the section where we talk about delta. That is the approximate change in value of the option for $1 change in the stock. So when it's working in your favor, delta grows. So it was probably 80 when we got in. Now it's up to 90. So if it goes the other way, it shrinks. So instead of starting at 90 and letting it work against us every 90 cents on the dollar, we're going to let it start at 79 cents and let it work against us, right? So it actually is better off. Jorn says, should we roll to a lower delta than 80? Well, let's take a look. That's not a bad question. Let's take a look here. If we sold to close the 41, there's so much liquidity here. I'm very, very pleased with that. Extrinsic is roughly 10% here. 39 over 278. 14%. That's good on the there. Let's look at like, what about the 43 and a half? So 75 over 237. It's 31%. That extrinsic value doubles between the two as a percentage. So 39 over 278 is 14%. Looking at that and that. Hang on. Let's make me log in again. Okay. 39 over 278 versus 48 over 237. So 14% versus 20. Okay, clearly I typed something wrong. 20% is good. It'll cost us a little bit less as well. Let's look at this one. 69 delta, 60 cents over 198. It's 30%. Okay, maybe that was the one I did. Jorn, I don't mind that. Let's go with it. Let's go with the 75 delta here. It's going to save about 40 cents-ish a contract. Moves us from the 90 delta to the 75 delta. Liquidity still outstanding. I have no issues with that whatsoever. So the order that you would put in, do it if you want to. I'm not telling you have to, but this is what I'm going to do. Sell to close the 41. Buy to open the 43 and a halves. Liquidity is ample, so that shouldn't be an issue there. As one order. Buy to open, closer to the money, same number of contracts. That's important too. You don't want to double the size when you didn't mean to. Okay, so that's the plan. We go to do it on the business account, 41 to 43 and a half GM. Keeping the trade on. So you should get a credit on your order of around 226. So sell to close the 41s, buy to open the 43 and a halves, same number of contracts, and the order should be roughly 224. I'm going to try 225 and see where I get filled. Working. All right, let me replace that. Let me move it down to like 222. Build. All right, 222. So the way you keep up with this, let's do the math. So we spent $360 on the original option. We just took in 222. Okay, so we just took in a credit of 222. So 360 minus 222. So now we have $1.38 in risk rather than 360 in risk, right? So we've taken in a credit of 222. Jorn got filled at 223. Sweet. We've taken in a credit of 222. So our total risk in the trade has gone from 360 to 138 per contract, okay? Now, you take the 222 and you add it to what we could get out for. Let's say we could get out for 237. So 222 plus 237 is 459. That is your actual price, 459, which shouldn't be too far off of that. Right. Now 459 divided by 360 is what we got in for. We're about 28-ish% up on the trade. So that's a nice start. Let's see where we can go with that. So 238 is current price right now. Yeah, roughly about 27% up on the trade right now. And it stays alive. And it's some awesome voodoo. I love rolling trades. It's one of my favorite things to do because it's so cool that you can do this with options that you cannot do this with stock, period. Not possible. All right. Now, we jibber jabbered for a long time on that. Let's go to ITT. ITT, we need to close. Let that load for a second. So the current heat map value is G25. And on my chart, I said I'd get out at G25. So I was going to get out anyway, no matter what. It is closing below the half ATR point right now. So where we made like $4 so far on STLD, we've made a little over $1 on GM, and that's on one lots, right? Of course, it's going to be different. We are looking to get out of this about $1.20, $1.40, somewhere in that range. So that's part of it, right? Take your small losers, let your winners run, right? Let the winners will run wildly out of control. So I need to close ITT. I was always going to close ITT today. All right, so currently in ITT's 130 calls. April 19th, 130 calls. And I do need to go update the Discord real quick. So ITT 690 to 720. Mid price is 705. Let me see. Just let me see. Let me see if I can get filled at. I don't know if I'll get filled at 705, but I'll try. $130 calls. All right, I'm gonna let that work for a minute. It's sitting at 705. I'm gonna get out no matter what, period. Unlikely gonna hit 705 with it trending down like that. Okay, let's do this. I don't want to wait around. We're at 2:44 p.m. Need to move on. I'm gonna drop this to 695. We'll probably get filled right away. Yes. Okay. I'm closed. I'm out of ITT. Fill price 695. ITT 695. Okay. Let me throw this in the Discord real quick before we move on. All right, let me look for GM real quick. There it is. Okay. I'm going to reply, and then I'm going to say rolling trade. You already got 705? Nice. Very good. You definitely beat me on that. Rolling GM, 41 calls up to the 43.5 calls for. What was our fill price? It was 222, wasn't it? Yeah, 222. Or $2.22. Keeps trade alive books, partial profits. Okay, so I'll leave that there for GM. Let's go to ITT, where Yorn demolished me. Apply. Closed ITT. That was the 130 calls. For 695. 18% loss on that one. However, it's only a 1.80% portfolio impact. Close below half ATR and at planned exit point of G25. Okay. Rock and roll. I'm going to have to hustle through looking for new trades today. So let's get busy. Next step, grab the OVTLYR signals. Here, close. Hang on, someone's talking. Oh, that's Midjourney. Okay. So overlay, uptrend only. There's 39 new today. But that also includes all the overlays. Finding all the March 28ths, copy, put it into any old spreadsheet. Take the list, drop it into the trend spider outlier long, edit, paste. You don't have to have trend spider. We've had a conversation going on the Discord about this too, in fact. So I love you guys being able to chat on the Discord. Like the community of this is so great. So we've got the list right here. I'm going to refresh. So this is a scanner running through here. That scanner is checking for no order blocks, prices in the direction of the trend, and there's no earnings in the next 3 days. Now, I went through this list earlier, identified 3 that did have an order block for some reason that still popped up. I think when I run the scanner, it looks at this order block and misses that order block because this one's more recent than that one. You can see how far back this goes versus that one. So I think that's why it pops in like that. But then you've got this one. I don't know. Either way, I would not trade this because it is inside of an order block. Once it crosses above or below, then I'd be interested. And then AR also had an order block that it's just crossed into right there. Okay, so I'm going to take this list. And I'm going to put it in my Variance Explorer. And this is really cool. We can run a back test on all of these all at the same time on the daily. But I have to type them in manually, which is a little bit of a pain. Not the worst thing in the world, but it is a pain. So I'm going to type this list into here, CDW. I'm going to skip WFTC. I'm going to skip hubs. I'm going to put CTAS, ESX, ALSN, DJX, RRR, ORI, AR. Oh, no, I need to take AR out. See, I marked it earlier. It saves us a minute. TMHC and ALK, Alaska Airlines. I'll take off GM because that was the default it was already set at. Okay, I'm going to sort. There we go. I'm going to start with RRR. Now, when I do this, I'm going to pull up RRR here. While that loads, I'm going to come over here to Tastyworks and type in RRR. And I'm going to look for Liquidity. Now, we talked about that earlier, but we're doing a double back test. We have the trend spider back test. Now we're looking for outlier signals back test, starting with the highest and working our way down. Liquidity is okay there, but that's $4 wide. This is 35 cents wide. 121 on 240. That's 50 cent or 50% extrinsic. So I'm not interested in RRR. Moving on. See, it sorts by the first value rather than the actual total value. So that is a little bit of a bug they need to fix. CDW. Nobody's there. Not interested. CTAS. This one's okay. Whoa, holy crap. $54. No. A-okay. Oh yeah, here we go. Lots of open interest. What's our back test over here look like? Oh, negative 39. Not gonna trade it. Not gonna trade it. Right? You want positive expectancy in both the chart back test as well as in the outlier back test. So even though it looks good on one side, it doesn't look good on the other, so I'm not gonna trade it. ALSN. Not enough liquidity for me. ORI. That was LRI. ORI. That's okay right there. Let's check out. I didn't type it in over here. ORI. We got 7 minutes, so we got time. Don't stress. If I had quit jabbering so much, we could get through this faster. But I do this for you. Okay. Okay. Why did I zoom in? I need to look here. Okay, here we go. Positive expectancy. It's currently at G16, which is fine. So I'd go 5 points higher than that. ORI. Here. Yeah. Okay, let's go. 75 delta. This is 10 cents wide. Extrinsic value, 19 cents on a $1.05. It's 18%. I love it. That's awesome. Now, because this is so cheap, it's really important that you get the right position size. We talked about that earlier, right? Let's just drop it in here, ORI. I mean, imagine if your account balance is 40,000. That would be 31 options, right? Or if your account was 400,000, that would be 310 options, okay? The objective here is to have a appropriate risk for your size of account. So let's go back over here. ORI, 30 calls. We got 5 minutes. Trade. ORI, 30 calls. Let me get my position size. Okay. ORI, April 19th, 30 calls. Okay, I got filled at... No, did I get a crap fill? Filled at 1.0. Okay, I thought I got filled at 102. I got filled at exactly $1. Let me drop this in the Discord quickly. Today's the 28th. Trade number 1. Bought 419 ORI. That was the 30 calls for $1. ORI is currently at 30.78. That's not the button I wanted. Okay, moving on. Quick. TMH. Actually, that's going to be the last one. TMHC. And there's no liquidity there. Okay, cool. So that's going to do it for today. We did some work today, didn't we? We took off ITT. We kept ORI we added. Main list. We closed ITT. We kept STLD. We rolled up GM and just put on ORI. I'll get this all set up. Yorn is also an ORI at $1 as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, that one looked pretty cool. I like that. All right, so that's going to cover it for today. Like I say, I'll mark up this chart, and you know what? We're not stressing for time at this point. We already got our trades in, so let's go ahead and mark it up. This is important, right? The reason I say it's important is because you're going into the weekend. What are you going to do on Monday, right? Leo filled at 1. What are you going to do on Monday, Leo? I'll tell you what, I'm going to follow my plan. That's how I take the guesswork out of trading, right? So, current price, where do we get in? 30.78? Yeah. A half ATR. The current ATR value is 41.50, 41.5. We'll call it 42. 42.42 divided by 2 is 21. 30.78 minus dot 21 is 30.57. That's a half ATR. And that's pretty much the low of the day. So the next candle will be basically the same thing. 1 ATR, so 42 cents above this. $31.20. And then again, 31.62. Okay, so we did a lot today. I hope this was useful, right? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the Discord if there's anything that I can do better for you. I really try and be comprehensive in what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing this anyway. Like that was the original impetus for when I started my business, 10minutestocktrader.com, which was purchased by OVTLYR. I'm going to be doing this anyway. I'm just excited to do it with you. And all I have to do is talk through the trade with you, exactly the steps that I'm doing, so you can understand what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. So, of course, please let me know if there's any way that I can make this better for you. I do this for you, right? It is definitely a perk of being inside of OVTLYR is to trade with each other. So thank you all so much for coming. Do not forget, tomorrow, the market's closed. Don't even bother opening up whatever app you use to check your stock trades, because it won't update, right? We'll be back on Monday. Have an incredible Easter weekend. Go find all the golden Easter eggs that have $100 bills in them. At least that's what we do in my family. And it is one of the most fun things ever, is to see who gets the $100 bill and everybody else gets hella jealous. Have a fantastic weekend. See you on Monday.